Have you ever had that feeling where you're using one of these, incredibly powerful AI image tools,
Yeah.
and it feels less like you're designing something and more like you're just playing a slot machine?
Oh, absolutely.
You type in this perfect prompt, you hit generate, and what comes back is just completely random.
It's pure chance. And the frustration, it really peaks when you finally get that one great character. The lighting's perfect, the mood is there,
Yeah.
and then you just ask it to, say, move the camera.
And it all falls apart.
It all falls apart. Suddenly your character looks like a totally different person. That's that AI slop everyone talks about, that inconsistency that just kills a project.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're on a mission, really. We want to guide you through a very specific workflow to take back directorial control over AI generation.
Yeah.
We are moving beyond luck. The goal is to turn one single perfect image into an entire cinematic sequence.
That's it, exactly. We're moving you out of the passenger seat and into the director's chair. We're going to break down this workflow using Nano Banana Pro for the images. It's powered by Gemini 3 and then VO 3.1, fast of the video part.
So we'll cover getting that foundation right, mastering the language of cinematography, and then the secret to getting controlled, predictable animation.
Let's just dive right into the core problem.
Okay, let's unpack this. Why are most of these AI tools so stubborn? The sources kept using the word inconsistency.
Inconsistency is the root of all evil here. So when you create a character with some unique detail, right, like a robotic eye or a specific scar, and then you ask for a wide shot, most models just forget those details. They just resample the whole scene. It treats your new prompt like a brand new request.
So it's not even that it's forgetting, it's that it's literally starting a whole new drawing from scratch. It's ignoring the face, the clothes, everything.
Exactly. I mean, you watch a movie, the main actor doesn't suddenly have a different nose in the middle of a scene. We need that same level of consistency, and that's where this reference workflow comes in.
Wait, so is this reference workflow just, a fancy term for image to image? How is this different? How do we know it's not just going to copy the lighting and forget the character?
That's the key question. A lot of those older systems, they just use the reference as a style guide. But Nano Banana Pro, using Gemini 3's architecture, is built to hold on to those key features.
Okay.
So when you upload that reference image, your master blueprint, and you ask for a change, the model is forced to anchor the character's geometry. That robotic eye, for example, is locked in. It doesn't get washed away.
So this reference workflow, it's basically the blueprint that forces consistency across all the other shots you generate.
It's the only way to lock down that character's identity. And the whole thing hinges on that single foundation.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the most important step, creating the foundation image. If you rush this part, the whole thing just falls apart later.
Right. This is the image that defines everything. The character, the lighting, the mood.
All of it, the textures, everything.
And the example in the sources, they didn't just use a simple portrait. They chose this really complex cyberpunk street food chef in a rainy Neo-Tokyo, which seems designed to be difficult.
It's intentionally complex.
Yeah.
That's where the real learning is. You have to deal with steam and puddles and neon lights. You can't just type cyberpunk chef and hope for the best.
You need precision.
Surgical precision on the subject, the environment, and the camera.
The sample prompt they gave is basically a technical checklist. It starts with the subject. Old Japanese chef, gray beard, and then the key detail. Robotic cybernetic left eye with a red lens, stained apron.
That red lens, that's the anchor. That's the non-negotiable detail that AI has to hold on to.
And then the environment gets just as specific. Ramen stall, heavy steam, rainy Neo-Tokyo, pink and blue neon signs blurred in the distance. Okay. If you don't lock that in, the lighting will be all over the place in your other shots.
And finally, the camera. Medium shot, eye level, cinematic lighting, photorealistic. Once you get that perfect image, that one file will become your North Star.
So that's the one you keep coming back to.
It's the one you upload to the reference section every single time. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself. I once spent 3 hours trying to get consistent shots because I was too lazy to perfect my first prompt.
An entire afternoon wasted.
Exactly. I learned my lesson. You have to invest the time up front in that foundation image.
So extreme specificity on subject, environment, and camera angle is what prevents all those inconsistencies down the line. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. We're shifting from being a prompt engineer to being a director. We have our chef, he's consistent. Now we need to build a shot library around him.
And to do that, we have to learn to speak the language of cameras, because these tools like Nano Banana Pro, they understand cinematic terms better than just, vague descriptions.
We need to start big, the extreme wide shot. This isn't just about showing the scenery, is it?
No, it's an establishing shot. It tells a story. It shows the chef as this small human detail against these massive dark skyscrapers. It sets the stakes.
Then you bring in the drama with a low-angle shot.
Right. You want the chef to look powerful, like a master of his craft. You look up at him, you prompt for looking up from the counter level, and the sources said the AI kept that red cybernetic eye perfectly, even from below. The anchor held.
Then you can flip that for a high angle. That's more for vulnerability or for showing information, right? Looking down at his hands as he prepares the food.
And my personal favorite for creating tension is the Dutch angle.
The tilted shot.
Yeah, the canted shot. You tell the camera to tilt 30 degrees, and it immediately puts the viewer on edge. It signals that something is unstable. You can even add heavy rain falling diagonally to really push that dynamic energy. The AI knows exactly what Dutch angle means.
Whoa. I mean, just imagine scaling this. If
Yeah.
you can generate 10 or 15 perfectly consistent shots like this, all ready to be dropped into an editor, that's real cinematic production power.
It is. Then you need connection. So you use the over-the-shoulder shot. You prompt for a blurry customer in the foreground, and it pulls the viewer right into that interaction as the chef hands over the ramen.
And finally, the really intimate detail shot, the macro shot.
Yeah, the extreme close-up. For the cybernetic eye, you don't just say macro. You have to get technical. Increase the depth of field prompt. Emphasize the texture of the lens, the reflection of the neon.
So the big takeaway is you're building this library, this shot library of 10, maybe 15 consistent angles, all anchored to that one North Star image.
Yeah.
Then you're ready for motion.
Exactly.
And if you really want to convey that emotional intensity or instability, the Dutch angle is the classic cinematic tool for the job.
Now we make the move. We switch over to VO 3.1 fast because it's quick and it understands physics pretty well.
So there are two methods here. The simple one is method A, the start frame.
Right.
You give VO one of your images and a really simple prompt like steam rises or rain falls. It's good for adding a bit of atmosphere, just pushing the sled a little.
But method B is the real secret sauce for anything complex. We call it the start and end frame, or laying the train track.
Okay, explain that.
Well, if you just tell the AI if chef walks away, the model has to guess. It starts to improvise the physics, the trajectory, and that's when you get that weird, unpredictable morphing.
The AI slop.
The slop comes back.
Okay.
But if you give it a perfect start frame, our chef standing, and a perfect end frame, our chef walking into the distance, both already generated consistently in Nano Banana Pro,
Then I have no choice.
it has no choice but to connect the dots. It's like a train on a fixed track. It guarantees you have control over big camera moves, complex actions, anything like that.
So the two-frame method is so vital because it forces the AI to connect two consistent states, which stops it from just making things up and morphing. Let's talk about a hack here for efficiency. The sources mention using an LLM, like Claude or GPT, to actually write your prompts for you.
This is a huge time saver. Because trying to describe a subtle camera move in just the right words can be really hard for a person.
Right.
So you upload your two frames, say the macro shot of the eye and medium shot of the face, and you just ask the LLM to write a concise prompt that explains the camera move needed to get from A to B.
And you just copy and paste that directly into VO. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
And it lets you do really professional tricks like a rack focus. You generate image A where the chef is sharp and the background is blurry, and image B where the chef is blurry and the neon signs are sharp.
And the prompt is just.
The prompt is rack focus from the foreground character to the background neon sign. And it works perfectly because both of those states, A and B, came from the same foundation image.
Even with this whole system, though, there have to be common mistakes. What are the big pitfalls people need to watch out for?
Number one is forgetting the foundation. You get excited, you try to generate a new shot, but you forget to put your North Star image in the reference slot.
And the consistency breaks.
Instantly. The fix is just discipline. Always, always use the foundation image as your anchor.
Okay, what's mistake number 2?
Being lazy with prompts, just typing something like different angle or move camera a bit, it just confuses the model.
You have to be specific.
You have to use the professional language. Low angle, bokeh, depth of field. You have to talk to the tool like a director talking to a cinematographer.
Mistake 3, the morphing hands. Hands are still a huge challenge for AI, aren't they?
They are. If your chef is doing anything complex, like chopping or stirring, you absolutely have to use the start and end frame method for that specific action. It's the only way to minimize that weird digital distortion.
And the last one, which you said is the most common reason a video feels amateur.
Ignoring lighting consistency. If your wide shot is at night, your close-up can't suddenly look like it's daytime. It breaks the whole illusion.
And the fix is just repetition.
Just repetition. You have to repeat the exact atmospheric keywords in every single prompt. For our chef, that was neon lights, rainy night, blue and pink hues, every single time, no matter the camera angle.
That lack of repetition is what makes so much AI video feel so disjointed.
It's the biggest giveaway of amateur work. You have to lock that atmosphere down.
So when you put it all together, what does this actually mean? The sources seem to be saying that the era of AI video looking like a weird dream is coming to an end.
It is. We are moving into an era of AI directing. Control is finally starting to outweigh chance.
The recap is pretty straightforward then.
It is. One perfect foundation image to lock in your character. Use that to build a solid shot library of different cinematic angles, and then animate it all with the start and end frame method for total control over the motion.
It's a much more deliberate process than just hitting generate over and over, but the payoff is moving from random clips to actual controlled storytelling.
Your story, told exactly how you see it in your head.
With that cinematic consistency completely locked in.
So the next step for you, the listener, is to actually try this. Just do the first part. Open up the tool and spend some real time making one perfect character, your North Star. And then just use that one file to generate 3 consistent angles, a wide, a medium, and a close-up. And just feel that shift in control. It's a powerful feeling.
And here's a final thought to leave you with. Now that you understand this cinematic language, that a low angle means power, a Dutch angle means tension, try applying that to the real world. Think about it when you're just taking a photo with your phone. It really does change how you see everything around you.
Until next time.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.